Okay, first and foremost, the four pillars. Okay, you had MCing, DJing, graffiti, b-boying. Those are all social elements. Okay, for someone to say that there's no party dancing in the four pillars, b-boying is a party dance. Popping is a party dance. Locking is a party dance. House is a party dance. When we say social dance, social means when you get people together. A party is a social event. If there's no party dances, then why do you need a DJ? If there's no social aspect, were all the MCs rapping on the radio already? They didn't have records. Where did the graffiti artists do their graffiti at? Just on the train? Who cared? How did they get together to discuss? I did this piece on the train. That's what social means. So for anyone to say that there's no social dancing in hip hop, it's dumb. That's just idiotic. That's moronic. And it's just right now, as I said to you earlier, the culture's become too cerebral. People have so much to say because they have nothing to do. The people that talk the most about dance are the ones who can't dance. They want to talk to you about it so they don't have to show. But the four pillars of hip hop have always been supported by one golden rule: show and prove. If you talk about DJing, you have to DJ. You have to know what you're talking. You have to show that you know what you're doing. If you're an MC, you have to rhyme. You have to spit. If you're an artist, you have to draw. You have to paint. You have to show what you can do. If you walk up to some graffiti artist and you say you're a graffiti artist, the first thing they're going to say is, "Where's your black book? Here's a marker. Show me your tag." You have to show and prove. So the people talking the most, tell them to shut up and show and prove. If you're talking about the four pillars, the real four pillars of hip hop are peace, unity, love, and having fun. Those are the four pillars. Without those things, those other four things nobody cares about, because these four is what brought these four together. So that ends that stupid discussion. And for the idiots that's saying there's no freestyle hip hop in the four pillars, they're idiots. What we do is a direct correlation from b-boying. Because if you knew anything about hip hop history, b-boying started in the early 70s. By the late 70s, it died. People weren't doing it anymore. It was Crazy Legs and the Rocksteady Crew that brought it back to the forefront. Then after that, it died again. After it died that second time, that's when freestyle took over. And freestyle was the original style in the first place, because that's what b-boying started out, as a freestyle dance, from a dance that preceded it, rocking, which was all about freestyle. Every dance is about freestyle. If you notice, that's why everybody's trying to dance now, because it's freestyle, which leads into the second point. When you say freestyle, it doesn't mean free of style. It doesn't mean you could do anything. If I run into the wall and bang my head up against the wall on beat, am I doing hip hop? If I just fall on the floor, if I push you on the ground and you roll over and you kick your heels up, are you doing hip hop? Okay. If I bring a dog in here and I dance with the dog, is that hip hop? So it's not freestyle means do anything. It's freestyle meaning freestyle through vocabulary. It's the one thing that separates street dance from other dances. From ballet. You don't freestyle in ballet. There's set moves that you have to go through, or choreography that you do. In street dance, You take the vocabulary, the foundation, and you freestyle through it. And you create new foundation. Again, the people that are telling you this are the people who can't freestyle. They talk so much and dance so little. You know, shut up and dance, and then we'll talk about it. And that's the problem. Freestyle means you could do anything. Really? So if I slap you, is that hip hop? You can do anything. Dance. That's hip hop. You know, it's nonsense. It's asinine. It's just the logic behind it is ridiculous. You know, we only called it freestyle hip hop out of respect for b-boy, because b-boy is the original dance of the culture. But after that dance died, our dance came about. And the reason we called it hip hop is because we only danced to hip hop music. B-boys didn't dance to hip hop rap music. They danced to breaks, the original musical foundation. But breaks come from all kinds of genres of music. You know, you had breaks from rock records, you had breaks from salsa, from disco, from mambo, you know, from swing, you know, and the DJs mix these things together. Well, that's what we did in hip hop. The only difference is we just took dances, singular dances, and mixed them all together. Thus the term freestyle, meaning you took all of these things and you mixed them together spontaneously. That's what freestyle means, spontaneous, off the top of your head, without thinking. Not, I can do anything. Again, it's logic based. You use your brain, you'll come to the proper conclusion if you just trace the logical step from one to the next. But if you can't dance, and you don't know the vocabulary of hip hop, or the vocabulary of house, or popping, or locking, or whacking, or breaking, then you just say, oh, I can do anything. You can do anything because you can't do anything. You can do anything because you don't know anything. That's your crutch, that's your way of getting around it. Well, I don't need to know those things because I can just do anything. And when you run into a person that can't just do anything, that can do a lot of nothing, then you get crushed.
Yeah. You hear that? Do you hear that? Thank you, Stretch. That's a nice drink.
Now it's time to bring my funky dance back, and once again.
First things I would say is music. You guys got to broaden your horizons musically. Case in point, you're DJing today. Instead of playing another mix of a song, play the song. Give the original song and then mix something else, a remake or something with it, instead of playing the remake. Because what made people like that song is the original, the feeling from that. Before you play the duplicate, play the original. Another thing is, you have to pay attention to your audience as a DJ. When you play a song, if you don't immediately get some physical response from the music, it sucks. You know, if you ever watch a good DJ play in a hip hop, not a battle, but just in general in a club, when a DJ that's playing in a club is watching the audience, if the audience isn't moving, he changes the record. It's the same way in dance. You have to, pick music that you know is going to move the crowd. That's the entire purpose of DJing, is to keep the party moving, keep the people interacting, keep them dancing. That's the DJ's job. Second, the better the music, the better the dancing. I've never been to an event anywhere where you had great dancing and bad music. So the more intense and hyper the music gets, the more intense the battle gets, the more intense the dance gets. And you have to. The music is what brings the people together. So you have to figure what can you play, not just for your dance audience, but for the people that aren't battling, to bring those two crowds together. Because what you had at your event today was just the dancers. You don't have people watching the dances. You have very few people that just watch it because they can't relate. You have to give them something that makes them relate. From my own experience, when I started my event, Step Your Game Up, we had in this little club the first year that I did it, and we just had all dancers. We really didn't have an audience either. When I moved it the next year to this church, we attracted people because they heard the music. When the church was open, it was indoors, but you could hear the music outside, and just people wandering by would be like, well, what's going on in here? And we'd tell them it's a dance battle. And they'll look from outside, wow, this looks interesting, and they'll pay to come in, and they watched. And we did it at the church for 3 years, and every year we got more people. And then I've gotten audiences where you have people who come who don't want to battle. They don't care. I've got top dancers. Last year's Step Your Game Up, I had dancers from all over who didn't enter the battles. They didn't want to enter the battles. They came for the vibe. They came for the music. When there was no battle, they were dancing. They were going in. They were going crazy. And they said, I'm not interested in the battle. I just want good music. I want to be able to dance. So, and then I had people who came just to watch that, just to interact and to feel, the vibe is what's most important. And the vibe is the music. You have to get music that brings, non-battling and battling people together, just regular people. Because, people tend to think that, it's hip hop or street and, regular people aren't interested in it. Nonsense. Because that's why you see commercials with hip hop in them now. That's why hip hop is on CNN and on major channels in damn near every country now. Because it's hip hop is the opposite of politics. Politics separates people. Hip hop doesn't do that. It brings people together. That's why governments don't know how to adapt to it. They've never known how to take it. First it was it's street, it's rap, it's blah blah blah. But now you have countries like Korea where hip hop is part of their national pastime. It's actively promoted as this is part of the country's culture, and it's not from that culture, from that country. So you have to look at it from that standpoint. You have to bridge the gap between the people who don't know what the culture is and the people who do, and give them a reason to do this. And that reason is always music. You have a generation of kids now that have grown up with hip hop. So, and their parents know what it is. So you just got to get them in the same room talking. And not physically talking, but, not verbally, but physically. There's a communication between people, even without words, and that's through music. So you just want to get that audience, because that's your audience. Those are the people that will pay to come into the jam just to dance, or just to see what's happening, and to be a part of the vibe. And I learned that through doing my own event. My sister, my older sister, she's not my oldest, but my older sister, who's my partner, she runs the door at my event. And when I was telling her to let these people in, she's like, why you let them in for cheaper? I was like, because they're not coming to battle. They're coming to watch. I had a group of people came. There was 5 people. They came, they looked. I said, this is amazing. Can we come back later? I said, yeah. She said, I'm going to come back and bring my friends. Those 5 people came back with 20 people. And they all paid, and they all came in and watched. And they bought drinks, and they got drinks, and they were partying. They were like, this is amazing, and blah, blah, blah. They weren't into hip-hop. They didn't know anything about the dance. But they saw and they connected with the vibe. And that's true anywhere. There's nothing to do with the country or culture, because music is universal. It cuts across all lines, all religions. That's the reason why hip hop, you can get Jews and Muslims in one room, bobbing their head together, doing this. You can get Christians, Protestants, and Catholics. They could be at war anywhere. You put some hip hop on, and they'll stop for a moment, and they'll be like, it's that simple, man. So, music has always been a unifying process, and that's one of the beautiful things about hip hop as a culture. The music has always brought people together. Even, you get people talking about anything. Even people that hated hip hop talked about it. And the very fact that there's a discussion or discourse going about it means it's having an effect. So that's what you want. You want people to go, you want people that are not a part of the culture to come and make a connection with the culture. And those people in turn will connect other people. And that's what it's all about. And as far as the dancers, again, the guys, guys need to let go. Stop thinking. One of the best parts of today was watching him win the Top Rock, because he just came in, he had this whole attitude of, basically, I don't give a fuck, and he won because of that, because he wasn't trying to be cool, he wasn't trying to be macho, he's just trying to dance, and that's that's what we felt, that's what you capture, that's what makes a good battle, when cats are just trying to dance. I'm gonna show and prove what I got. This is me, this is what I'm about, and he brought that out today. Prior to today, I would have never, I didn't know he could top rock. I thought he was into locking. Who knew? But, so it goes back to show and prove. Same thing with the girls. The girls, they stepped it up big time. I actually like the other 4 girls, the younger girls. I just think if they had more vocabulary, they would have gone a lot farther. I think they basically ran out of things to do and just started repeating, but they never lost that that vibe, the love of what they were doing. Every round they captured that, and we got it. And we even though we voted against them, we still love them. If they'd have had a little bit more, we would have all went that way. So I think that's what again, getting back to the whole cerebral thing, gotta let go. Gotta stop thinking about what this is or what that is, and listen to the music and vibe out.